Kia ora! My name is Adina, and welcome to my South Pacific adventure. The first 2 days of my journey, we were just in and out of airplanes, airports, and we had to entertain ourselves with games like Spit and Uno until our great delegation manager, Kevin, picked us up and took us to the Marae, which is a Maori sacred meeting house. And there we learned about Maori culture, including some of their games, dances, songs like the haka, and their ancestry, all these other things. It was really great to see. The next day, we traveled to Rotorua, the tourist capital of the North Island, and we visited Waiotapu, a geothermal wonderland, which is a series of craters and streams heated by underground magma. It was gorgeous and very captivating to look at, as you can see all the gas and bubbles coming up, but unfortunately, due to some hydrogen sulfide emissions, the entire town smelled like rotten eggs. We also stayed on a farm that night. I stayed with the Cumming family. Nico is on the end, he's 13. Max is in the middle, he was 11. And that's Chloe on the end next to me, she's 10. They were delightful and I had a lot of fun, even though I fell off their trampoline that night. On day 5, we visited Hobbiton, which is where they filmed The Hobbit and Lord of the Rings. It's actually a sheep farm, and they added all those empty hobbit holes, and that moss you see on the fences is actually just a mixture of paint and glue, but it looks real. We also got to go on a jet boat, and Kevin promised we wouldn't get wet, but we were all soaked.
Water all over the camera.
It moves really fast, and it does lots of spins and stuff, but it's really, really fun.
Katrina.
Shannon.
Wet everywhere. I have water on my jeans, like in my butt, on my thighs, on my ankles.
It's my hair. Or her.
Lucky duck. Steve, I swear you're getting me wet on purpose.
On day 6, we visited Parliament, where we learned all about New Zealand government. They were actually the first country to give women the right to vote, which was awesome to learn. We also visited Te Papa Museum, where we learned about New Zealand wildlife, some of the animals that are native there, and also their geography and fault lines that flow, and the volcanoes that are all around the islands, and also their World War II participation, and some more about Maori culture.
This museum's owned by all New Zealanders, and we don't have one ancestor that represents all of us. And so we've put Maui up there. Maui's a demigod, much like Hercules or Achilles, a demigod for most of the Polynesian people. And that vision there of him is of him slowing the sun down with his brothers. The one's on the side of him fishing up the North Arden.
We also visited Weta Workshop. Weta is a production company based out of New Zealand that did the special effects for Lord of the Rings and Harry Potter, among other big-time Hollywood films. So we got to see replicas of all their props. On day 7, we left the North Island to travel to the South Island, and Kevin surprised us with a visit to Kaikoura to see some seal pups. Upon arrival in the South Island, we met up with our homestay families, and we stayed with kids that were our own age, high school kids, and I stayed with the Pattersons, Arthur, Edgar, and Holly, and Arthur's friend Chris. As you can see, they're holding their bird, and that's Arthur. And the next day we just kind of hung out with them. We visited their school, and we went shopping, and it was great to connect with kids our own age. And the next morning, we had to say goodbye to our homestay families, and we were honored with a surprise haka from the rugby team. From Lincoln High School, we traveled to the wildlife exhibit where we learned about kiwi birds and saw them in their natural habitat, as well as some other animals and birds that are native to New Zealand. And from there, we got to visit the Antarctic Center and learned about the New Zealand base in Antarctica and what it's like living there. We also got to meet some of the smallest species of penguins, the blue penguin, and a lot of those penguins were rescues, so it was great to see that.
We're huddling like penguins. About to experience a storm. It's gonna be cold. We don't know what's happening.
What's up?
A few days ago, yeah.
As you can tell by the sad, reminiscent music, that we were coming to the end of our first part of our journey. Our last day in New Zealand, we did the full-on, and we climbed a mountain and got to sail off of it. It was really scary, and it was really hard, but I'm glad I did it.
Awesome. Not even that scary.
Really?
Really not.
Thank you for watching. Thank you to all the friends I made and everyone that helped me go on this trip. But our journey is not over yet.